All right, before we do this, I gotta fix something real quick. Hold on. I gotta add an image to the slideshow. What the fuck? What in the fuck happened? There we go. That was so weird, it made it bigger. Alright. Now we'll be right back. Well, welcome in for another edition of Talking Sports with Coach. This is episode 13, and we'll be talking with Allan Bell Jr., of course, from 24/7 Sports and Sportsline.com. I appreciate everyone coming in today and watching this show, or whatever we call it, Talking Sports with Coach. We always have a good time talking a little NFL. I'm going to start getting a guy named Bo Estes on here. He's going to do a little NBA. And we'll run with that, and we'll kind of move out a little bit more from the NFL side and talk this. But what I thought we'd talk today is we're going to break down the NFC North, kind of break down their draft picks, and also break down just where they might finish in the seasons, kind of early predictions kind of thing. We're going to keep doing this, whether it's with Allan or not, but we're going to kind of take every division and do it at least, one day this week, and then one on Saturday. So without further ado, let me go ahead and introduce everybody to a great guest we have on here on Talking Sports with Coach. It's Allan Bell Jr. from Sportsline.com, and he's going to help me break down the NFC North and kind of from now on kind of break down some more of the divisions throughout until the start of the season. So, like I said, without further ado, Mr. Allan Bell Jr. here is to join me. What's up, man? How you doing this morning?
What's up, bro? You doing all right?
Dude, we can't complain, man. Just losing in games. That's all. Just losing. Just losing.
Way to start your Saturday, then.
It's all right. We won half, so it's like, we were just getting hurt. But the ones we were getting beat on, it was like you almost wanted to quit the game. It's like it's fun when it happens to you, but then when you're getting it, it's not fun. When you're doing it, it's fine. But when it's happening to you, it's not so good. So. Already got people in the chat saying hello to you because they clearly know who you are already. Nice. Well, hello back, Steele says hello. He's one of your favorites.
Hey, what's up, man?
He's pretty excited about, of course, Tom Brady going to the Tampa Bay Bucks, being a Patriots fan. So he's ready for the Jarrett Stidham years. I know I am as well. I kind of thought he was gonna be pretty good, but I mean that was just my prediction anyway. So, all right. So, without further ado, let's break down some divisions, man. Let's get into some conversations about Let's start off with the Chicago Bears. The Bears. This is a team that, what is it, 2-3 years ago just was in the playoffs. We thought maybe they were going to have a turnaround. You know, they just seemed like they kind of fell short. They went 8-8 last season. Picked up Nick Foles because it seems like Mitchell Trubisky's not the guy. What are your predictions and your thoughts on the Chicago Bears?
So, you know, the Bears are they're kind of the epitome of a team, you know, of how hard the NFL is, right? You know, we talk about how last year doesn't mean, you know, it doesn't always equate success to next. You know, the NFL can change pretty quickly, pretty rapidly, and I think the Bears are just an example of that because, you know, remember how good they were 2 years ago. I mean,
right.
You know, they get Khalil Mack. The defense is just out of control. The offense is rolling. Matt Nagy is an offensive genius. You know what I mean? Like, it seemed like the Bears were on this meteoric rise.
Right.
And then we see last year, last year it just kind of grinds to a halt. And not that they were terrible, but they just weren't the standard of what we thought they were going to be. Obviously, it all, you know, begins and ends with Mitch Trubisky. Like, that's everything, you know, to this team. And you know, you mentioned it in terms of Nick Foles coming in. You know, Trubisky's it's gonna be very similar to Marcus Mariota last year with the Titans, where he's gonna be on a short leash, man. But I'll say this: if Trubisky, you know, if he wins the starting job or you know, keeps it, you know, during training camp, right?
Yeah.
Think about this. The Bears won't face a playoff team from last season until November.
Wow.
Their first 7 games are the Lions, Giants, Falcons, Colts, Bucks, Panthers, Rams. So they've got an opportunity to start pretty good. Okay? Now, you know, 7 of their final 9 games are against playoff teams from last season, including 4 straight November. So that part's going to be hard. But they just got to get momentum. I mean, they've got the pieces to do it.
Yeah.
They've just got to get it all together, if that makes sense.
Right. So how do you feel with their draft this season? How do you? I mean, I really like the Cole Kmet pickup for, you know, they didn't have a first round pick, but it was nice to see to get a guy like a better tight end. They got rid of Burton, right? Yeah, they got rid of Burton. They got Cole Kmet. They went after a cornerback as well, and Jalen Johnson in the second round. How do you feel about their draft?
Well, let's say this: their draft is going to come down to Cole Kmet, right?
Yeah.
Because the tight end position in that offense is so incredibly important.
Right.
We saw it last year when Trey Burton was injured. I mean, it's almost like the fullback position with the New England Patriots offense. What we saw when you know, when everyone just kept going down with injury last year. It's such a vital piece. So the tight end position in Matt Nagy's offense is incredibly important. So Cole Kmet is going to be counted on right out of the gate. They're going to need him. And if he plays up to the level that we think, it's going to end up well, because that's exactly what they need, especially in the red zone. So,
right.
You know, I thought it was, you know, an excellent pickup for them. Obviously, the guy's a local guy, you know, being a Notre Dame guy. So we'll see, man. But, you know, they have the pieces to do it. The hard part is that they are in arguably the most difficult division in the NFL.
Without a doubt, and it just seems like they just need. That's the thing with Cole Kmet. It's another weapon as well. But my thing is, it's kind of like in what I do in fantasy, and I learned very hard last year, is not pick a rookie tight end for anything in fantasy, anything, because it just seems like they're not going to do anything their first year, and then the second year might be a better transition. So I think it's going to be kind of, I don't think they're going to be able to, you know, it depends on if their defense stays healthy, the weapons around them, to like Tariq Cohen. I don't know if you saw his like rug burn or his, like, you know, field burn that he had. Oh my God, that was disgusting. That hurt me. That hurt me a little bit, but that's a guy that, like, that's a great running back, a great guy that you can use in the flex anywhere pretty much on the field. He's a fast guy, kind of like a Tyreek Hill running back, basically. You know, but I just think that it's going to be another kind of season where they're going to have to try to get over the hump again, with the talent they have around them, and their division being as good as it is with Minnesota and Green Bay, and then Detroit. Depends on what happens to Detroit after all these, you know, accusations, but we'll talk about them later. But I just think it could be another 8-8 season for the Bears. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's just so hard to project because they've got the talent to be good. We just saw it. You years ago.
Right.
But again, like you say, I mean that's the hard part is that Green Bay is going to be pretty good. Minnesota is going to be excellent, and the Detroit Lions are the biggest wild card in that division.
Right.
Like like we'll talk about them, here in a minute. But when you were speaking about fantasy, and everyone out there, like if Matthew Stafford is healthy, grab Lions offensive players, specifically wide receivers. Like there's a chance this offense could be insane. It was insane last year until Matt Stafford, got hurt and his back was, jacked up. I mean, that offense was putting up big numbers, right? So, I mean, I have a hard time thinking that they get back to where they were 2 years ago. Because again, even if Trubisky falls and Nick Foles takes that job, I mean, who has a ton of confidence in Nick Foles? Like, and that's nothing against him.
Yeah.
I think that what we saw in Philadelphia was just the perfect place at the perfect time. With a quarterback who came in, took fire. The team was solid. They had obviously great coaching and literally the best head coach in Doug Peterson that you could have for a backup quarterback, considering he was the epitome of a backup quarterback, and how to handle that. It was just, perfect place. So, long story short, I'm with you. 9 wins or anything above is going to be incredibly difficult for them to do it. Now, I'm just not saying that they can't.
Right.
But they're going to have to come out of the gate. I mean, 6-1. Like they're going to have to come out firing.
And we're talking about coming out 6-1. They got to play the Lions, the Giants, the Falcons, the Colts, the Buccaneers, the Panthers, and the Rams. Their first 7 games. Okay, so if they can go 6-1 out of the Rams, maybe the Rams or the Panthers, but it's away. They got to play the Colts and Phillip Rivers at home. They got to play the at home. They got to play the Falcons at Falcons. So it's up in the air, to be honest with you, because it seems like they've got really good 7 games out of the gate.
Yeah, they do. I mean, the beginning of that schedule is where their bones are going to be made. Where you're going to know, because again, like we said, 7 of the last 9 games, are against playoff season.
Yeah.
And not that that's the end all be all, but again, it's just so difficult to go on a run at the end of the year, against really good teams. So yeah, I think we'll know about the Chicago Bears.
Right. All right. So let's move on to Detroit, because I want to save Minnesota and then Green Bay for last. Let's move on to Detroit. You were saying Stafford, a 3-12 season last year, has back problems. This is the same team that had Kansas City on the ropes. The ones that, won the Super Bowl. How do you feel? I mean, Jeff Okudah, an amazing draft pick. You got DeAndre Swift along with Kerryon Johnson. And I'll tell you a guy, let's see, I really think that Aaron Sipos as a punter is going to be in the league for a long time. What are your feelings?
I like it. Yeah, I mean, you talk about, the brutal schedules, all right? The Detroit Lions, they face it on both ends, all right? So they've got 4 road games in a 6-week stretch early in the year, all right? And then they've got a tough 6-game stretch to finish the season against the Texans, Bears, Packers, Titans, Bucks, and then Vikings, right? Like they're going to catch it on both ends. But again, like we were just saying, they're the biggest question mark, because if Matthew Stafford is healthy, this team can be phenomenal on offense. Phenomenal. Right? And this is a monster year for Matt Patricia. I think that he has got to show. I'm not saying that it's playoffs or bust, but he's got to show that they're making improvements and progress. And again, losing, your starting quarterback to injury, kind of derails everything. So it's like, I'm not going to blame him for that. But again, you know how the NFL works. It doesn't matter. Like, if you're the head coach, you're going to get blamed. So it all comes down to Stafford, man. He's healthy and playing well. This team can compete. This team can put up points. But if he's not, they're probably looking for a new head coach.
Yeah, without a doubt. It just seems like, I mean, I don't know. I don't think Matt Patricia's the guy. I think, maybe. The thing is they got a lot on the defensive side of the ball, but they did pick up 2 guards in the 3rd and the 4th round with Logan Stenberg, by the way, hometown kid. So happy for that guy. I think he's going to be a guy that's going to be in the league for 10 years as a backup, lineman, but a local guy go to the Lions. We have four guys from my town on the Lions.
That's incredible. Like, do you know the odds of that? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's in almost $1 billion.
Yeah. Like literally, we call them. I mean, Tom calls them the 256 Lions. I mean, or everybody around the studio is calling them the 256 Lions because it's like it's crazy to think that four guys. I mean, obviously some of them are through trades and blah blah. Actually, 3 of them are through trades if you look at it, and then 2 of them are through 2 trades, and then the other 2 are through drafts. So it's just crazy.
Yeah, that's wild. I mean, again, the odds of that are just
without a doubt. How do you feel? The addition of Danny Amendola. Do you think that's a good addition along the wide receiver core?
I mean, Danny Amendola is, exactly who we all kind of think, right? Like,
yeah.
The guy can catch. The guy can play. He was that perfect, kind of, slot guy, in the Patriots offense. And if you look at the Lions team, I mean, Matt Patricia's brought over a lot of former Patriots.
Right.
Right? Which is not a bad thing. I mean, Patriots have had good players for a long time. Is it the same? No. It's hard to replace Tom Brady throwing it to him and Bill Belichick being the head coach. But again, Amendola can do a job for you. He's very similar to, Adam Humphries, here in Nashville.
Yeah.
Who, was injured last year, didn't really, on, but he's a guy that you can count on. And he's a guy that he makes other weapons stronger, right? Like Marvin Jones. Like if Amendola is catching balls, in the short perimeter, it's going to open up Marvin down the field, right? Because you have to pay attention to Amendola. So he's a part of the process, and if he's on, he's a very, very important part of it. And we're going to need it because they're going to need every single point that they can get. Because again, I'm not down on the defense,
right.
But I kind of look at them, similar to the Falcons last year. That big defensive and coaching switch that they made, that you need to score every single point you can to give yourself the best shot at winning. You know what I mean?
He reminds me of a guy that I'm sure a lot of people, I don't know if a lot of people in the chat remember, but Brian Hartline. Like a Brian Hartline type player. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Trash hat. First of all, Jersey, you can get your stupid ass Giants fan self out of here. Nobody cares about the Giants, all right? Y'all suck.
Giants.
All right? We got a Giants fan in here talking trash about my hat because I'm wearing a Falcons hat while we're talking, even though we're talking FC North. So
he's giving you the business.
Just give me the business. I mean, he thinks his team's better than mine. I mean, they might be. Who knows? But we'll see. So anyway, 3-12 finish last year with a tie, by the way. Did they do any better?
Yeah, I mean, if Matthew Stafford is healthy, they do a lot better.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, that's a 7-win, 8-win team. But again, it all comes down to Stafford. And when you start talking about backs, right, like with quarterbacks, like backs, hits. I remember Jake Locker here in Nashville. When he had a Liz Frank on his foot. Yeah. Those things can be devastating, man, and especially with a back, like you just don't know how people are going to respond. Like Stafford could come back and be him and be great, or he could come back and this thing lingers and this thing's around. You take one hit and then you're out for a quarter. I mean, that's what makes it so difficult, to project. But if he's healthy, I mean, this is absolutely a 7-8 win. It's literally all going to come down to it.
Without a doubt. All right, so let's move on and go on to Minnesota. Got a lot of problems going on, obviously, in the city. They can be warranted or not. But we're not talking politics, we're talking sports. But a team like the Minnesota Vikings went 10-6 last year. Clearly, we were sitting there talking about the Bears. They could make the playoffs going 9-7. The Vikings could do the same thing, 10-6 or 9-7, and still make the playoffs. And how do you feel about their draft? How do you feel about the team going forward? And what's your prediction?
So let me say this. I am extremely high on the Minnesota Vikings. I like everything about them. I like what they do. Right. I like their team roster. I think they're well built. They're well coached. I'm a big Mike Zimmer guy. And if you look at the Vikings, they're multiple. They are right word to say. They're deep. You know what I mean? Yeah. And here's the best part about it is that run game is going to be a lot better this year. And if it is, I know I'm not the biggest Kirk Cousins fan in the world, but you have to give him respect. Like what Kirk Cousins did last year
Yeah.
was tremendous, right? And that's a little bit of what, again, just to use a reference of something local.
Right.
That's kind of what the Titans wanted out of Ryan Tannehill and what they got, because they didn't have to depend solely on him. Derrick Henry took a lot of that, kind of off his shoulders, took the pressure off of him.
Yeah.
And I think that's what Kirk Cousins is going to get this year out of the run game. Obviously, they lost, Everson Griffin. But again, this team is good. They lost Stephon Diggs, obviously.
Right.
Which is not going to be, easy to replace. But getting Jefferson out of LSU, I think that kid, if you're a betting person and you're looking at with rookie wide receiver probably puts up the best numbers.
Right.
Look at him. And I'm not saying that he's the best, rookie wide receiver coming out. I'm saying he's in the best possible position, right? So, take a look at him, kind of similar to what A.J. Brown did in Tennessee last year. To stop rambling, I love the Vikings. They are just a head and shoulders better team, I think, than anyone else in the NFC North. And I know how good the Packers were last year. I don't think the Packers are going to be as good this year. And I believe in the Minnesota Vikings for sure. The 10-11 win team schedule isn't easy, but again, this is a team that can win at home, a team that can win on the road. I'm all in on this.
I completely agree with you. We got a guy that's watching and supports the channel, and he's a Vikings fan, and we were talking Vikings today, and he was saying, we lost our best wide receiver, but it's like, if you look at it, Adam Thielen, with the addition of Justin Jefferson, you got Rudolph, you got all the parts that you really need, to be honest with you. I really think that basically in Stephon Diggs, when you picked up Justin Jefferson, you got a younger Stephon Diggs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But maybe a more physical receiver too,
For sure. Now, the hard part with replacing Diggs is that Diggs literally makes the impossible catches. Right?
Yeah.
His footwork is tremendous.
And he's a great route runner. Amazing route runner.
Absolutely. He reminded me, he still does. He reminds me a lot of Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
Before all the craziness happened. You think 3-4 years ago, Antonio, if that ball went up, Antonio Brown would catch it.
Yeah.
He was catching it. That's what that guy does, and that's what Stephon Diggs does. And I know it's certainly never good to lose a player, of his caliber, but I'm with you that the team is so good and it's so deep and it's built so well with the run game, with the tight end game and Rudolph, with Thielen, now with Jefferson. You can replace that, quote unquote, because you have so much talent around you that they're going to make Jefferson better. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm very, very bullish.
And with a team, that got 15 draft picks in the draft, do you feel? Oh, sorry. No, go ahead.
No. I agree. Yeah.
Nate Stanley, was that just a seventh round quarterback to just kind of have as a camp arm? I mean, are they looking at quarterbacks?
No, again, not to forget the Titans, but I'm just using it as an example because the team is 5 minutes away from my house.
Yeah.
That, the Titans did the same thing.
Right.
Right? And I'm not, they went after the kid from Hawaii, and nothing against him.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge 7th round quarterback guy because I've seen it just too many times, and it literally never works.
Right.
It just never works. Right? So, you've got to have an arm. If you
Cole McDonald.
String guy, a practice squad type of guy, you just want to take a flyer, especially if you have 15 picks, and go ahead. You know what I mean? What's it going to hurt?
Yeah.
So, I think that's what it is mostly is, they saw something in the kid. Maybe you can turn out to be something. Maybe you can turn him, kind of what Belichick has done for a long time. Maybe you can turn him into something and trade him. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of different ways that you can go about it. And I wouldn't criticize the Vikings on how they draft, how they coach. They got a lot of smart people up there. So yeah, it is what it is.
I think they did really well. I think it's like they drafted every single position, literally on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
They got a cornerback, a defensive end, a defensive tackle, inside linebacker, cornerback, offensive tackle, it's safety. They went all over the board. It seems like it just seems like they were just let's just get a bunch of guys and see what happens. From the 5th round down.
That's what the Baltimore Ravens have done for a long time.
Yeah.
They draft intelligently by one. They don't pigeonhole themselves into we have to get this position. They just take the best player, that's available that can help. And two, they capitalize on other people's mistakes. You know what I mean? Like if there's a really good player, but a team is like, well, we could have a Hall of Fame, defensive end, but we have to go get a wide receiver. Like that's how you get in trouble in the draft. So that's why I like what the Vikings did. You just draft the best player available and find a place for them, and you just make your team better. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah, can't criticize them at all.
So we're both kind of on the same page as Minnesota being a 10-11 win team this season.
Yeah, I'm totally with it. Now, if you look at their schedule, it's certainly not.
Look at it right now.
Brutal. It's not easy either. Their first 5 weeks include 3 road games.
Right.
4 games against playoff teams, from last season. But here's the thing, you got 3 straight home games, weeks 11, 12, and 13. You got, 3 road games in the last 4 weeks, and you got to play Brady and Breeze.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, this is a team that they can compete with anybody, in the NFL, and especially, any given Sunday, so to say.
Yeah.
The Minnesota Vikings get a lineup and whoop you, so, yeah, I'm with you. They're going to be good.
And, of course, the NFC North is playing the NFC South this year, so every time the Falcons are always on the schedule, so they will get the Falcons at home. So, once again, it's like, man, that's kind of like me looking at this game again. One of my buddies that supports the channel Dirty Birds, he's a huge Dirty Bird fan, has memorabilia, he gets all these cheap jerseys, he knows how to find all the places to get all the discounts on memorabilia and everything like that. So he's a huge fan in Minnesota, and our thoughts and prayers go out to him as well, because he has a small child and a family, and he lives right in the middle of a lot what's going on right now. So thoughts and prayers go out to him for sure, because he went to the game last year and it was his first game ever being a Falcons fan. And I told him, hey man, you join the club, you go to your first game and they lose. I said, I went to the Jets. I watched Geno Smith come back and beat the Falcons. Okay. I don't want to hear you went to a beatdown by the Minnesota Vikings who made the playoffs. I watched the Falcons lose to a crappy Jets team. I mean, it is what it is, but he will get a win. He will go to 1 win. I'm sure he will. So,
yeah.
And he may not be good because he lives in Minnesota. So, so anyway, so we both kind of on the same page. It's going to be hard for the Minnesota Vikings, especially like we said, those last 4 games. You got Brady, Nick Foles, or Mitchell Trubisky. You got Breeze, and then Matt Stafford for the last game. So it's gonna be a wild one for sure in the last few weeks. So moving on, let's go to Green Bay and kind of finish up. Of course, the Green Bay Packers won the division last year, 13-3. They kind of were lackluster in the playoffs a little bit. The Jordan Love signing kind of roughed some feathers a little bit around the organization, I'm sure, and Aaron Rodgers as well. He can act like he doesn't care, or just whatever, but at the end of the day, it's kind of like a stab in the back a little bit. But it did happen to him. He did get drafted when Brett Favre was around and everything like that. But they went after a running back in the 2nd round and never went for a wide receiver. It's kind of like the Eagles. The Eagles needed a wide receiver and got 2 of them that could start. The Green Bay Packers didn't even do any of that.
No, they didn't. And yeah, they had an interesting draft for sure.
Yeah.
The hard part with them is that they didn't really address that position for Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
And you're looking at an all-timer type of quarterback who, I'm not saying he's done, but he's certainly on the back nine. You know what I mean, of his career, right?
Yeah.
But you gotta understand this, and I know Matt LaFleur pretty well in terms of what his offense is and what it looks like. And here's the thing: Matt LaFleur runs the ball, and Matt LaFleur does not care who your quarterback is. Matt LaFleur runs the ball. Okay.
Yeah.
So Matt LaFleur offenses in 2017 and 2018, okay, accounted for the 9th most rushing attempts in the NFL both years. All right? He's going to run the ball. That's what he wants to do. And you see his draft. I think at one point in the Packers draft, they had 3 straight offensive linemen, right? So they get a running back. They get obviously Jordan Love, and then they went heavy on the offensive line. I like that. And what it's going to do is he's trying to not only establish a true running game, but also take it off of Aaron Rodgers' shoulders, where Rodgers doesn't have to do everything. Is that going to come in? Is that going to be perfect this year? No, but Aaron Rodgers is good enough that he can hide deficiency. He can mask missed opportunities on offense, so to say,
right?
Because he's that good. And if they get a running game going, and you have defenses that can't cheat and play back, on Aaron Rodgers, in the pass game, he's going to become even more elite.
Yeah.
So let me say this. Yeah. Like, I'm not. What's the best way to put this? I don't believe in the Packers that they're going to have a year that they did last year.
Yeah.
But I'm not down on them either. Like, I mean, this is a playoff team. Anytime you have Aaron Rodgers in that helmet, the Packers are a threat to be in the playoffs. Same thing with Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers, right?
Yeah.
Like, when he's healthy and out there, like, it's a playoff team. Then we all know, like, once you get to the playoffs, literally anything can happen. So I don't think that they're going to be as good as they were, but they're going to be in the running, and they're going to be in the competition. And the good thing for them that the schedule lines up. Only 2 of their final 8 games are against playoff teams from last year.
Yeah.
So if they can stay, head above water, stay even, through the first 8 games, they can make a serious run on the back end. And if they get that run game going on the back end when it gets cold, Lambeau's going to be a brutal place to play for everyone else.
And I feel like they've got a great additions especially from last year along the defensive line. And Kenny Clark is still a younger, type of Grady Jarrett type player, but he's not. I don't think Kenny Clark's on the same page as Grady Jarrett, to be honest. And that's not even biased talk. I don't think he's on the same page as him right now.
Yeah.
But when you get rid of your linebackers, your secondary isn't that great, and you go 3 offensive players in the first 3 picks and don't go for a defensive player until the 5th round with an inside linebacker, I don't think you did that whole right. I liked the John Runyon pickup because that's another, that's another offensive lineman. But then you got Jake Hansen at center in the 6th round. But I mean, it just seems like they tried to help out because they're going to still work out the Lane Taylor deal. But it just seems like I feel like is Josiah DeGora, is that a threat on offense, to help Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah.
It's just weird.
Man. Like I was watching their draft, and I was just kind of chuckling to myself because it just had Matt LaFleur written all over it, where it was just offensive line, running back, offensive line, offensive line. That's Matt LaFleur, man. Like, that's what the guy wants to do. So like I'm saying, will it work? Probably. Matt LaFleur's a pretty smart guy.
Yeah.
And you got some smart people, with the Green Bay Packers. But installing, all brand new offensive linemen, a different running mentality, rushing mentality. It doesn't happen right out of the gate. There's going to be some moments where we look at the Packers this year, and it just kind of doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, in terms of play calling, in terms of what the team looks like, what Rodgers is doing, because Rodgers is used to, one style of play, and quite frankly, I don't blame him. It's worked out pretty well for him.
Yeah.
But there's going to be times where Matt LaFleur is going to press the running game, and it's just going to look odd at times. But again, anytime that you have Aaron Rodgers on your team, I know it sounds dumb,
yeah,
but it was like Brady in New England. Like, that guy runs out there, dude. Like, good luck, man.
Yeah.
At any moment, he can take over, and there's just nothing that you can do about it.
And it's crazy because 6 out of their 9 draft picks are on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
And you've got and we're sitting here talking about the Eagles. The Eagles went after Jalen Hurts, and Doug Peterson has already come out and said, he's not gonna be a backup. Like, he's gonna play. He's gonna have some sort of role in the offense. Is Jordan Love gonna have some sort of role while Aaron Rodgers is playing? You think that's gonna happen?
No. No, I mean, no, there's no way. If Jordan Love is playing, then something bad happened, right? Like
Yeah.
something bad happened. But here, my question is this: is NFL teams, they're no different in terms of just mental, emotional feelings than anyone else's office, right?
Right.
So for Aaron Rodgers, and picture it, everybody listening, like you going to work Monday. Your boss comes in, openly hires your replacement,
Yeah.
sits their desk right next to you to where he knows it, you know it, everyone else in the office knows it, right?
Right.
That doesn't work well. Like, just emotionally, it just cannot work for long, right? And that's even if you're being nice and kind, because Aaron Rodgers has the career to work to worry and take care of himself. So I question how long Aaron Rodgers is going to be in Green Bay. It's going to be tough after this year to trade him because his contract does have some monster, type guarantees and numbers. But again, Aaron Rodgers, right? Somebody wants him to make that trade. So that's my biggest question: is what happens after this? Because it doesn't work out more than it works out. I know that was an insane sentence to say, but those things don't tend to last very long.
Right. So, are the Packers your favorite coming out of this division?
No, Minnesota Vikings.
Minnesota.
They're my favorite.
So,
I'm all into the Vikings.
You heard it lit.
This team is just gonna. Yeah, I think this team is just so well rounded. They're so well coached. They know what they're doing. They've got a lot of starters, returning in an off season where it could be truncated, or teams with new coaches, new quarterbacks. It'd be tough for them to get on the same page. I love the Minnesota Vikings. They're going to be an outstanding football.
Well, all right, man. I'll let you get out of here. I know it's beautiful here. Is it beautiful there for you?
It's perfect, man. It's rained all week.
Yes.
It's finally nice, man. I'm going to get out and play a little golf.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to get on my bike, and I don't know how far I'll go, but I'm definitely going to ride my bike today for sure.
I like it, man. Well, I appreciate you having me, buddy. And everybody listening, appreciate y'all. Hope y'all have a great weekend. And we'll all talk.
Well, tell everybody where they can reach you if anybody wants to check out anything you got going on. And Steele says bye, by the way. It says thank for the insights. We will be breaking down the NFC East eventually. The AFC East, I'm sorry, Steele, eventually. And we can rag all over your Patriots pretty soon, okay?
Steele, what's up? Good to talk to you. And yeah, you can find me on Twitter at AllanBell247. You can just go to sportsline.com. And if you click the ellipses at the top on the news feature, that part's free. You don't have to be a subscriber at all. We've got all kinds of great betting profiles, everything NFL that you can imagine. Yeah, sportsline.com.
All right, thank you so much, man. You have a good rest of your day and enjoy some golf, man.
Hey, you too, buddy. Thanks so much for having me.
All right, see you. There you have it. Boom. Allan Bell Jr. once again breaking down the NFC North. Next week, we're gonna break down the AFC North and kind of give his perspective on that as well. Hopefully next week I can get in touch with Bo Estes and we can talk NBA. The NBA is coming up with a proposal to maybe come back on July 31st. So that'd be really cool. Seems like everything's kind of going in motion to bring a lot of the sports back. You got soccer right now, NASCAR, baseball. Baseball, just don't even get me started about baseball right now. Baseball is just pissing me off, to be honest with you, because they're such fucking crybabies. They are fucking ridiculous, to be honest with you, with the crybaby shit. Like, it really annoys me when they're sitting here and can't come with a deal because they feel like they're not going to make enough money or that they're going to get hurt for playing half a season. It's like, dude, everyone's made sacrifices. Why can't baseball players make a sacrifice? You already get the dumbest deals of any professional sport. Number 13 in the books. Right. And it's ridiculous. I mean, it's hard to comprehend that people can't just come to a conclusion. And with the NBA, I want to hear his perspective. If we get Bo Estes on here, I want to get his perspective on what Damian Lillard said, where it's like, my team can't make the playoffs, then I ain't gonna play, blah blah blah. Okay, then do like the NHL, do 12-team playoff, do a 12-team playoff, okay, and I want to watch the fucking Bucks lose to the Hawks. Or I want to see the Lakers lose to your Portland Trailblazers, because it's not going to happen. You're going to get your shit rocked because your team sucks. So, I mean, it's, what can you do? We're going to do the AFC South, or AFC North next. AFC North. And then we're going to go to the NFC East, AFC East, NFC South, AFC South. I think I'm going to switch it and do AFC South first, and then finish with my NFC North. So, you tell them. Yeah, they're listening. They're all listening. Hale. But it's the truth though. Like, because if basketball can come back, then do 12 team playoff. It'd be like a weird fucking year, but do a 12 team playoff. Come back and have, 1, 2, and 3, 4 all have a bye. You know what I mean? And just see how that goes. They're going to do like half for 25% or 50%. There's always going to be a reduction in the number of people that can be in the stands. So what's going to suck is you're going to have, like, I think it was, who was it? Minnesota was it the college? Minnesota or somebody? They said that they were only going to let people who are season ticket holders buy tickets, no individual tickets. So, season ticket people is what? Roughly maybe 35-40% of the rest of the tickets, you know what I mean? So I don't know, it's gonna be kind of difficult to say. Depends on what happens. I think baseball, if they ever come back, there won't be any fans, because they seem to be the ones lacking in trying to make all the right decisions of like where they should go and what they should do, because they're bitching about their money, and it's the people that make shitloads of money that are bitching about it. Like Bryce Harper, for instance, he's very vocal on it, and it's like, dude, you make $300 million, you fucking tool. It's like, come on, like, find out what you can do, and then do it. I mean, come to a decision. Yeah, no, yeah, and it's gonna happen. And the thing is, it's like, these season ticket holders, like, if it was a regular, like, this was like a regular season game and they're not playing somebody, within the division, or they're playing somebody within their conference, they're gonna sell that ticket way higher than what it normally would be. Like, I got a ticket from somebody, it was like $80. You know what I mean? And it was a division game from a season ticket holder, and it was a division championship game. So, we were talking, your Vikings lit. I don't know if you listened. I don't know if you were here at all. But if you want to recap this video, I'm going to have it clipped and put up on YouTube later. So what should we play today? I need to take a break and get back on later. Okay, good deal. So like I said before, with NHL is going to come back in July, and they have the 12 team playoff. That's going to be awesome. Like, that's so much hockey in over one span of a month. It's going to be great. It's like that with basketball. Basketball can do the same thing. They're already ready, man. Basketball is just ready to play. There's just people that are snobby and selfish, like baseball. Baseball, though, it's like half the fucking league. They're selfish. And look, they had to furlough and get rid of like 400 minor leaguers. I don't care. Dude, you got to make sacrifices. There's so many people that have lost their jobs in the country that a baseball player, you're gonna get on a team again. You may go on a whatever single A is left, because they're getting rid of all the single A. You could jump up, maybe go to a double A team. Stuff's just gonna get moved around. It's not like they're completely getting rid of all these. It's not like they're completely getting rid of all these teams. They're just getting rid of all these like small ass single A trash teams that like live in podunk towns. That, I get it, it sucks, but I live in a big ass city technically in my state, and we can't even keep a baseball team, and they just put another minor league team here. Luckily they're fucking double A, that it may work out, it may not, I don't know. But the thing is, they didn't get to play this year, and the brand new stadiums out there and everything. So I don't know. It's just gonna be like really difficult to say, hey, is it gonna work or not? It's gonna be kind of a weird situation. A lot of the teams that. But all right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get off and be back in a little bit. I need to be productive today. I will get back on and play. Either start off with. Hell, what are we playing today? Hell, what are we playing? I forgot to do the end after I talked to Allan, but you want to play something. You want to play Sea of Thieves? What time can you play? All we have is Sea of Thieves. You don't even have Paladins. Do I need to buy Overwatch? Is that what I hear? Nobody plays Paladins apparently. I haven't played Sea of Thieves in a long time. Well, what do we have? We have Battlefield. We could play Battlefield later. Yes. Oh, let's finish up the cards. I never even talked to Allan about the cards. Yes, Overwatch is great. I think I have Paladins. Well, it's free, right? So I just need. Yeah, it's free. But I mean, don't download it if you have Paladins. And Joey Iosef, he's out of the league. Jarvis Landry. Roll Tide. Chance Warmack. I don't even know if he's still in the league. DJ Humphreys. Rookie card. DeAndre Hunter. Rookie card. I don't think he's in the league anymore. Eric Kendricks. Card. Y'all those Minnesota Vikings? Lit. That's where all my Minnesota... Fucking Geno Smith. No, that's Taj Boyd. I'm sorry. Taj Boyd. Blake Bortles, rookie card. I know you own an Xbox. So are you gonna download Paladins maybe? Haha Clinton Dix. Terrence West. Motherfucking Derek Carr. I mean, if you want, yeah, let's play it later. It's just like Overwatch. The characters are almost the same. Whatever character, what do you usually use? I'll tell you what character you should use. Overwatch with mounts, exactly. Tom Savage. Ask Jay, he knows more than I do. Support Ealer, then be Geno's. What's the chick with the hourglass or the mirror? What's her name? Anna or something? I can't remember her name. Hell, it's basically Overwatch. It's free Overwatch, basically. It's free Overwatch. Blake Bortles. Fucking trash ass cards, man. Josh Huff. Haha. Clinton Dix. I met this dude at the Falcons game. He was a dick. Well, to my friend. And my friend was a Packers fan. I was wearing Falcon shit all over. I walked up to him. I said, "Roll Tide, man." He said, "Roll Tide." I said, "Man, great." I said, "I watched you play in college. You're awesome." Darick. His name is Darick. Darick Rogers. No, not the girl with the lamp. Not the girl with the thing. She's free. Genos is free. I can't believe that I bought the battle pass, Jay, and then I ended up realizing that the characters were discounted at $15. Wow. Yeah, it's a free game. Ryan Otten. I don't even think that dude even like made it in the league. Look at that guy. Does that guy look like he would make it in the NFL? Fucking bum. He's on the Jaguars. And then D. Milner, greatest cornerback in the league. Not even in the league anymore. Greatest cornerback in the league. Remember that. This was the greatest cornerback in the league. And he was only in the league for like 3 years. Roll Tide, though. Roll Tide, baby. That. Yep. D. Milner. He was a great fucking college player, but he was an awful pro. Awful pro. Couldn't stay healthy, though, I think. That was the problem. Alright, so I'm gonna go. Hale's getting Paladins. Me and Hale are gonna play Paladins later. Heading out later. So Free's gone, or Steel's gone. What time are you free? You wanna play later today? I gotta go to the studio. Some grub. Alright, well, why don't I come back and we'll play like at like 2 or 3. Is that good? And then we can play for a little while, and then you can get off, and then you can do whatever you need to do at 7 or 8 or whatever. Come on. Whisper. PG. Keep it PG. Is that good or no? Hell, tell me. I'll come back earlier. You took it other way. You're not wrong. Look at this. Look at this. This is all rookie cards. Those are all rookie cards. All of them. I've got more though. They're up there in my closet. Okay. Well, love you all. Mwah. I'm out of here. Let me go clip the show so I can upload it for Allan. If you want to rewatch it, it'll be on the YouTube shortly. Thank you so much for everybody coming in and watching Talking Sports with Coach. Episode in the books. So yeah, I'm gonna get off. That's okay with everybody. And then I'll get on tonight and we'll play longer. We only went 3 hours. So last night I was so tired, Hale. I slept until like literally like an hour before the show. 2 hours. Because I woke up at like 6, rolled around, got up at 8, like I'm battlefield. Oh, so yeah, I'm gonna go. There's my tiger. My tiger. It'll be cleaned up later too, so you'll see more of the tiger. There's my pretty tiger. The Tiger King. Anyway, alright. Peace. See you lit. Yeah, I gotta go up there and put the weather in and do some little things and make sure everything's running and everything like that. And I want to reset something so it works next week. Hopefully I don't have any problems. So we'll see. But I'm out. See you, everybody. Thanks so much for supporting. I'm out. Love you all. That picture is ridiculous. See you lit.